And it came to pass after these things, that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker offended their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry against his 2 officers, against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers. And he put them in prison in the house of the captain of the guard, into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he ministered unto them. And they continued a season in prison. And they both dreamed a dream, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. The butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in prison in his master's house, saying, Why do you look so sad today? And they said unto him,
We have dreamed a dream,
and there is no one who can interpret it. And Joseph said unto them,
Do not interpretations belong to God?
Tell it to me, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and its blossoms shot forth, and its clusters brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand,
Then I took the grapes,
and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup,
and I gave the cup
into Pharaoh's hand. Then Joseph said unto him,
This is the interpretation of it.
The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head, and restore you unto your office. And you shall give Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when you were his butler. But think of me when it shall be well with you, and show kindness, I pray you, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, 3 baskets of white bread were on my head. And in the uppermost basket there was all manner of baked food for Pharaoh, and the birds ate them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said,
This is the interpretation of it.
The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head from off you, and shall hang you on a tree, and the birds shall eat your flesh from off you. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and the head of the chief baker among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again. And he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 cows, well-favored and fat-fleshed, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other cows came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed. And they stood by the other cows upon the brink of the river.
And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed cows
ate up the 7 well-favored and fat cows. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed a second time. And behold, 7 ears of grain came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 ears thin and blasted with the east wind sprang up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dreams, but there was no one who could interpret them unto Pharaoh. And spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was angry with his servants and put me in prison in the house of the captain of the guard, me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us there a young man, a Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream he interpreted. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself and changed his clothes and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. And I have heard it said of you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph in my dream, behold, I stood upon the brink of the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 cows, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, the land of Egypt for badness, and the lean and ill-favored cows ate up the first 7 fat cows. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them. But their appearance was still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up upon one stalk, full and good. And behold,
7 ears with the thin,
blasted
with the east wind,
sprang up after them.
and the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears.
And I told it unto the magicians, but there was no one who could explain it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. What God is about to do, he has declared unto Pharaoh. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one, and the 7 lean and ill-favored cows that came up after them are 7 years. And also the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind, they shall be 7 years of famine. That is the thing which I spoke unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he has shown unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine which follows, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of these good years that come, and lay up grain under the hand of Pharaoh for food in the cities, and let them keep it. And the food shall be for a store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land not perish through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, forasmuch as God has shown you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you. You shall be over my house, and according unto your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his signet ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in fine linen garments, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him ride in the 2nd chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bow the knee. And he set him over all the land of Egypt.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph,
I crying, Pharaoh, and without you shall no man lift up his hand or his foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath-Paneah, and he gave him Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, a priest of On, to be his wife. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth abundantly. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. He laid up in every city the food of the fields which were round about it. And Joseph laid up grain as the sand of the sea, very much until he stopped numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, a priest of On, bore unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for he said, God has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second he called Ephraim, for God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenty
that was in the land of Egypt
came to an end,
and the 7 years of famine
began to come according as Joseph had said. And there was famine in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph, what he says to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine was severe in the land of Egypt, and all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy grain, because the famine was severe in all the earth.